The renowned physicist and scientist Albert Einstein once said, "The hardest thing in the world to understand is the income tax." For many years, politicians in our country have been fighting whether to raise or lower taxes, such as the income tax or corporate tax. I think taxes are a very important issue, and I believe that lowering the income tax will help solve a lot of problems due to economic growth and other factors. My name is Will Bouch, and in my speech I intend to tell you about the cons of high taxes, the benefits of low taxes, and examples of these benefits of low taxes that have been shown in the past and how they can be adapted to the future. Now, I don't look like someone who maybe knows a lot about economics because I'm only in high school, but I can assure you that I've done tons of research on this topic and that I do understand what I'm talking about, and that I have no bias I have no hate for anyone, and that I love the country and I truly want what's best for everyone, and I want to put more money in the pockets of Americans, and I think low taxes is the way to do that. My first main point will cover the problems associated with high taxes in our country. Now, when taxes are raised, it often affects businesses in bad ways. These businesses have to move money around in order to pay these taxes to the government, which often means that they lower wages for workers or sometimes lay workers off altogether. This causes a higher unemployment rate in our country. The inability to pay wages also causes businesses to, again, let workers go, and some businesses may even need to shut down, and causing some products to be stalled and go off the market, and some people to lose their livelihoods. On the other hand, little actual revenue is actually made from high tax rates, as the high tax rates can stagnate the economy, causing it to even out to where the revenue gained from the economy from the tax rates doesn't even cover the incentives of the government. Tax rates also tend to drive up prices of products due to the companies needing to make more money to pay wages in some cases, or pay other areas such as fixed costs or any costs needed to make these products. So prices of consumer items will go up in the end due to higher taxes. My second point has to do with the benefits of low taxes as opposed to higher taxes. As contrary to higher taxes, low taxes will actually cause an increase in employment and also an increase in the wages of workers. Due to the business having more money, as it doesn't have to spend more paying it to the government, they can pay more money to their workers and therefore increase their benefits and their wages. The company also has more money to hire more employees, as many as they see fit, to keep their company running, and overall low taxes really help benefit employment in our country, as I will talk about in the next point. Government will not actually lose revenue from lost taxes because the economy should boost so much that the taxes that they make off of income and sales taxes will actually make up for the taxes they lost due to the tax cuts. Finally, my third and final point will cover the ways in which these low tax rates have been implemented in the past and how they have benefited our country as a whole. I first want to cover the 1980s when President Ronald Reagan took office. He proposed a tax plan that many today call Reaganomics, which had to do with trickle-down economics. His tax plan said that with less regulation and lower tax cuts, people would have more money in their pocket, and therefore they would want to spend that money on consumer items, therefore boosting the economy. This has shown that this actually worked over a longer period of time because from the early 80s to the late 90s, the Dow Jones Industrial Average actually rose 14 times and 40 million more jobs were created. Now today, in 2017, so in modern day, Donald Trump also cut taxes for all tax brackets This significantly gave people more money in their pocket, as can be seen by the 5.7 increase in adjusted gross income, according to the Secretary of the Treasury, Steve Mnuchin. They saw this as a great success in giving people more money in their pockets. Also to that effect, the middle class had a decrease of $31 billion in tax burdens and brought them to only 13% of the total tax burden of our nation, which is very good, which means that all that money that was decreased from the tax burdens was going directly into their pocket for spending money to boost our economy. Also, the low class, who now pays 1% of the tax burden after a $4 billion decrease in theirs. Now, the White House shows that due to the corporate tax break from 35% to 21% and other tax break and other economic incentives, in the near future, every family in the United States should have an average of $4,000 in increased income annually. With all that being said, I want to summarize. The tax breaks in our country would be huge for our economy. The high taxes cause many problems such as high unemployment and lower wages, and do not help in government income at all. Low taxes actually do benefit workers as they raise their wages naturally, and they create more jobs, such as the 40 million jobs that were created in the 80s and 90s. With that being said, I want to tell you that when you think about who you want to vote for when elections come around, vote for the person who's going to put more money in your pocket and lower your taxes.